Costco, I want a sex Costco up. Tick tock, you don't stop.
And fluctuating, and fluctuating, fatty, fatty, fat soul.
We actually, I
We got our
actually,
You
blood
guys hung out
pressure
without me?
well, we got our blood pressure taken together,
and we
and
were competing for a better score.
I
Hold
almost
on
put
a
money
minute.
on the line.
How did you end up getting your blood pressure taken together?
Oh, it was crazy. I walked in to
No,
the
no, no. Tell the full story. I had an appointment for an IV, which so happens to be across from his business location. He says, "Oh, I'll just pop right over there." He walks in like he owns the place, finds me in the room, and says, "I bet I'll have better blood pressure than you." I said, "No fucking chance. You're
I,
fat." So then
Andy, the
he
level
sweet
of
talks.
confidence that I had, it was unbelievable. You would think that I have studied for this exam and I'm about to get 100. She turns over, she's like, Danielle, you have what we would call perfect blood pressure. What was it, like 118 over 76 or 78 or some
Mine
great.
was 116 over 78, and
Okay,
yours
which is
was
wait,
one.
don't
Okay.
say yet. You're
Okay.
ruining. You're
I'm
ruining.
surprised his was in the ones at all.
I know. He was like,
So
you could tell he was like really proud of himself.
I was
He was
sweating.
puffing out his chest like,
I was like, I got this.
yeah.
And so she looks at me and she's like, "All right, here are your results." And I won. I won because the result is getting the higher number, correct? I was 128 over 86. So, ta-da! Who's the winner? This guy.
120 is even possible.
This body is built for
How do
rowing.
you cheat on
Yeah.
this test?
Woo! Look at this. Look at this. This says perfection. This is body perfection, Andy, okay?
Is there a healthier man living inside you?
That he ate.
You know how people take piss tests for other people to pass? I go to the burn boot camp. I get a guy to come in. He leaves really fast. And I'm like, oh, yeah, feeling the burn, feeling the burn.
Oh my God.
It was so great. It was so great. But what she did not realize, and this is what this lady did not realize, is all the different food combinations that has gone through this gentleman's body. Okay. I have done almost anything mixed with anything. And we know that there's the usual classics, right? Everybody knows about peanut butter and jelly. Everybody knows about sausage, egg, cheese on a roll, or what I like to call the Jimmy Dean, my favorite, obviously. Shout out to JD always. Then you have the usual, you go to a Chinese restaurant. I know, Danielle, you've never had Chinese food, which is crazy. But we've got the Chinese combo platters. That's where it all started for me. Combinations and the thought of mixing foods together started at a very early age at a Chinese restaurant. And
Yeah, my parents have always been really adventurous eaters.
okay.
So I think that's where I get it from.
Oh, it's all
Despite
making
Danielle's claims
sense.
of autism and ADHD,
Whatever
it's
she calls
Still
me.
accurate.
uh, and I knew something was up because I used to bring these sandwiches into school with me as a kid. Everyone would just watch me eat, and I'm like, "Well, what seems to be the fuck?" And everyone's like, "Is that rye bread?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "What kind
Oh,
of cream cheese is that?" I'm like, "Oh, is that scallion?" They're like,
oh
"What kind
my
of meat is
Ew.
that?"
God.
And I'm like, pastrami." And it'll just be like one thing after the next, and everybody was always really like just mesmerized by these sandwiches he'd be making. And I'm like 8 years old. I didn't know any better. I thought this is just what people ate.
Mesmerized by sandwiches. That has been my life. Mesmerized by sandwiches. Now, what Andy didn't tell you is that his parents were Russian, straight from Russia, right? And I mean,
Yeah,
they
they're Russian immigrants. Yeah.
they had to go
So they're
through.
peasants.
They had to go through trash cans, I would assume, in the snow and with much love and respect. Okay. But
Where's
they,
Anastasia?
It was the opposite because they came here with nothing and they were able to buy whatever foods they wanted. Like the fridge would just always be stocked with random shit.
oh, they
And
were.
I think to them, you open the fridge and it's like, look at my bounty, but like when in
Hunters.
reality, like other people don't mix these sort of foods. So like they would make like all these crazy concoctions, probably just in the back of their minds because they now could, and they never had that luxury before.
So, Anne, you think it's from that open tundra Siberian hunter mentality and they had to fend for themselves. And I could picture your dad when he was younger with sort of like a wooden spear type thing.
Not cavemen.
A la Castaway. I myself have done a meat sandwich that was a crazy combo. We got ham and pulled pork, turkey, chicken, Swiss cheese, mustard, pickles on a huge like French baguette. I called it the ultimate Cubano. And okay, it was the Cuban.
That's kind of what I was picturing, a Cuban.
Yeah, it really was a Cuban Missile Crisis. It was a crisis because I had to
It became a crisis.
it became a problem. There was nothing more disheartening than watching your staff watch your own illness. It is
Oh God, I
That was
can't
my next
imagine.
question.
it's
Like you may have been happy, but like those
I
poor kids
think
must have been horrified.
I gotta
Yes.
think the level of disrespect and just the snickering, and you gotta think this is teenage girls and they're looking at
And it's
and
2025. They've got their phones out, I'm sure.
I'm sure that
You're all over
I
TikTok.
was a TikTok sensation.
You want to go viral, huh?
This is 10
Fucking
million views.
inventing dance moves. This is the Wilmington Shake.
That looks a little different than the Wilmington Shake hand, okay?
Oh
But
God.
but it was gross. Danielle, have you ever smashed food together?
Obviously, my combinations are going to be, less sexy, less disgusting. But
Two dicks at the same time.
Well, that's Danielle's combo. That's
I mean, okay,
that's
one thing that I absolutely used to love is a grilled cheese
okay.
with a crunch. So let me explain because it's a
Oh,
specific combination. Okay,
okay.
sourdough bread, not butter on it, but olive oil, thick sliced cheddar only from the deli. You put it on
Ooh.
the George Foreman so it's getting a panini press with the grill marks.
With a hamburger taste. Got it.
Ew.
Because you
Then you
didn't wash
take
it.
it off the grill, you open up the bread and cheese, and you stick in Cape Cod chips for the crunch.
Cape Cod chips.
40% reduced fat, bada bing, bada boom.
Oh
Whoa.
my goodness.
Andy,
I
what do you think about that?
It's missing something.
oh
Well, that's because you're on the extreme side.
well, and you used to do the Captain Crunch thing, as you said in the last episode. What would you do to make Danielle's
I bet he would add hot sauce.
oh,
No. A1.
A1?
Yeah.
A1.
Yeah.
And
That's what I would do.
and A1 is the garbage heap of
It's
steak
for
sauce.
peasants.
What
I'm
do
gonna
you
say
fucks know about A1?
let me
Enough to know that your parents came from Russia and they were going through the garbage
I
can
think that
looking for something.
I think A1 was the only thing that was in Russia. This is the problem. I don't think they had their hands on any other steak sauce. When someone tells me that A1 is their favorite sauce, it tells me I don't have a palate. It tells me I don't know what food is, and I don't know how to
It
season,
tells me to lick
spice
the
food.
bottom of your shoe after walking in New York City.
Oh, that's leathery. That is very, very
Don't tempt me with a good time.
So, and you would use A1. Danielle and I very much are aligned on the lack of A1, but you are trying to and attempting to make her combo better.
Infinitely better, actually.
Okay, infinitely. So that's the sauce.
A1 is the number one sauce for dipping a grilled cheese. I don't care what kind of cheese. I don't care what kind of bread.
Are you kidding me? Are you? This is
Yeah. Okay. Well, Andy's kicked off the podcast now.
I was gonna say shit. I gotta do this shit
No
with Lady
need.
Hog.
I'm leaving.
I can't do this with just Lady Hog. You gotta stay. Combos. We all remember combos, the pretzel and
Hmm.
cheese mixed. How many different flavors you guys think there are of combos? What are you guys thinking?
12.
All right, you think 12, and how many do you think?
Internationally, 15.
International. Oh, I did not think internationally. And maybe you're right because my studies have shown me that there's only six, and I was really shocked.
Huh.
I have had all six of these with between cheddar cheese, pizzeria, pepperoni. Oh, I'm starting to get hard. Cheddar
Oh,
cheese,
God.
buffalo blue cheese, and nacho cheese. Oh God, I'm done. I am done.
Which of
I'm
those
done.
is your favorite?
So I'm going to tell you, I have comboed combos. Okay. I have done the incombable, if that's a real word. What better way to enjoy pizza than through a pretzel? And I took the pizzeria pretzel, cut it in half, put the pepperoni pizza cheese on top of it, and did a double stuffed combo. Mine's blown yet, maybe?
Combos, what they should do is sell the cheese separately as like almost like
Yeah.
you know how you buy a little tub of pimento cheese at the
Yes.
supermarket? What
Combo
if you can
cheese.
just get combo spread?
Oh,
Because I
man.
would put that on Danielle's shitty grilled cheese with my A1 sauce. That's a fucking winner.
I'm not one to take away. I'm always one to add. So I would actually cheese, cheese, then combo cheese, cheese. Then I would do all of her things, and then I'd have a heart attack and die. I think. I don't know.
Okay, Andy,
But
what's a combo that you're into? What are you rocking these days?
I'll start small. How do
all
you guys
right.
feel about pasta with ketchup?
Oh
Uh,
God. Oh God. Absolutely not.
absolutely not,
Oh
Andy.
my God.
That is some
That is so
wicked.
World War II.
That is definitely.
I'm
And
just
what?
getting started. That was I said I'm starting small.
And what has scarred you in life? Tell me
Yeah.
what pain you have gone through that this is what
Tell me
you
about it.
I don't understand, man.
I-
And there's so many great pasta sauces out there. How are you even thinking ketchup? I mean,
Yeah,
the
well,
only
sometimes you open the cupboard and you don't have all the great pasta sauces in the world. Sometimes all you got is a tub of ketchup.
Ugh.
Sometimes all you got is yellow mustard.
You telling me you do mustard on a pasta? Andy, don't you dare tell me you do mustard on a pasta, Andy.
It's not a common thing, but look, sometimes you do what you got to do when you want pasta.
Why can't you just eat the pasta then, man? Why do
Am
you
I
have
an
to
animal?
go to the other gross sauces?
Have you ever buttered your Pop Tarts?
Buttered Pop Tart. And I got to tell you something. I have never buttered a Pop Tart. Danielle, have you ever put butter on a Pop Tart?
No, I mean I love butter and I do love a cinnamon Pop Tart,
But you've
but
never
Yeah,
thought
but
to
next time you
yourself,
take your cinnamon Pop Tart out of a toaster,
I
you
don't put it in
butter
a
that thing.
toaster.
wait, how do you not? What are you doing?
I just eat them dry.
What?
Well, when I say eat, I haven't had one in many years, but I used to eat them
Insert.
dry.
Everything with her is haven't done in many years.
I
This is
know because I'm so fit, healed on the
See,
other side of
healed
this
or
food.
deprived?
yeah. I think she doesn't allow herself to live life.
I have
Personally, I
pizza
think
every
Yeah, is this
week.
living? What is this?
if
It's
this is
living.
living, then I want to die. Kill
You're
me,
already
slit my
half
throat.
dead. You're half in the coffin, fatty.
That's only half. I
I'm
look at
already
the
looking at your your
I look
engravement message.
I
Fatty
look
B.
I look at the cup half full. Okay, you said half, I means I'm half out. So
Fatty B loved Jimmy Dean more than he loved himself.
well, that I do have a special place in my heart for JD. You do know that. Now, guys, we talked about what we have done. What we have not talked about is what we would do. My biggest dream is I've always wanted to open up a restaurant and call it Stuffed. Stuff
Oh,
with
I
a
like
apostrophe in the
that.
day. And basically what I envisioned was this place was shaped like a bagel. Okay? It's circular in shape.
Shocker.
And on each side is all of these great different items that are one inside the other, right? And I'll give you, for instance, obviously. You guys have heard of turducken, right? Of course, right? And you've heard
No
of the
idea what that is.
you
Sure,
have
of course.
no idea what turducken is. Danielle, this is a wonderful American dish, obviously created by a wonderful patriot. And basically, it's a deboned chicken stuffed inside a deboned duck, and then is stuffed inside a deboned turkey.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
picture that. Mwah. On another side, I would say breads within breads. Why don't we start hybriding different
Mm,
breads? Let's
mm.
do let's do a French baguette inside of a pretzel bun. The world's our oyster. The only thing
I
that's
can stand behind that.
Thank you. The only thing that's stopping us is our imagination, okay? Soups within soups, right? And you got Italian wedding and chicken noodle soup, right? You know the
Italian wedding?
Italian wedding and chicken noodle. I'm
What
telling you.
about Jewish wedding? What about bar mitzvah?
Well,
That's matzo ball soup.
that's what you would call that. Italian
Oh,
wedding and chicken noodle. Put it together. They're always talking about tying the knot. Now we're gonna arrange the marriage, okay? Now we're getting those two together.
whoa.
All right. Think of that. I would say this is my favorite one. Picture this, guys, okay? Ground beef within a meatloaf, within that a type of a pork, like a pork tenderloin. And I call this a beef loafing. Okay? Beef loafing.
Loafing. All right, we'll work on that.
You're gonna think this is basic bitch, but
Well, we already think that. But
when I was at summer camp at the age of 5, they did these deliveries of Subway, and I didn't like any of the combinations. So there was this one that was pepperoni and cheese on one of those like round rolls.
pepperoni.
So Pretty much the only sub I've had my whole life besides turkey and cheese is pepperoni and cheese.
Pepperoni and cheese.
It's
Okay.
like deli meat pepperoni, you know.
That's
Yeah.
on your wish list? You've had this.
Well, I've had it, but I don't have any other options here.
This is it. This is it. This is the big
This is-
idea.
That's the big reveal.
Yes.
We're looking at this girl like zero imagination, zero
Well, my palate
confidence.
is limited, okay?
It seems that way. Everything
The
is
craziest thing I've tried is avocado, okay?
Why don't you
Yeah.
add some chocolate covered bacon to that sandwich?
Ooh,
Oh, actually.
it's not a bad idea. And
Not a bad idea
You know
at all.
what, Ann? Let's focus group this, okay? Let's spitball this to make this a little better for Danielle. You said bacon and
Chocolate covered bacon.
chocolate
Yeah,
covered
I could
bacon.
stand behind that actually.
Chocolate covered. Okay. What if we also layered that with a beef jerky combo? Okay.
Okay,
I'm
no.
Wait, teriyaki or regular?
And you know what? Both. Both. This is a wish list.
What are your boundaries on combinations that you would not eat?
I do have a boundary. The only things that I won't do is bugs, earthworms.
Okay.
That's where I draw the line. I won't eat
Andy,
bugs.
I feel like Andy would eat that.
I feel like he has.
If I'm at a street fair and I've had a few beers and I see these things, they smell good, why wouldn't I try it?
Would you put them together or would you eat them separately then? Or do you want to know what each one tastes like?
Yeah,
Or you
I think
just
I would eat
down
them
the hatch?
separately. Once I knew what they all like, if there were like 2 or 3 that I really liked,
Yeah.
maybe then I would start comboing them. Maybe I would do like a scorpion earthworm
Yeah.
combo.
Would you put it in dark chocolate? Because that may be the only way that
You know what? If there's one that fries them up, there's no reason why there wouldn't be a chocolate dipped one.
right.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
fried or dipped would be the only way to go on either of the things you
Like
do.
a
Yeah, not
raisinette.
raw. Yeah, like I'm not.
Oh, that's gross.
Or if they dry them out like jerky, I don't think I'd want to eat that either.
Do they remove the eyes before you eat them?
Danielle, I don't think there's a huge process. I think they're throwing whatever they find there on the
Okay,
floor.
okay,
at the
I have
time.
something. I have
Oh,
something.
she's got a combo in.
No,
all
no,
right.
not a combo, a boundary.
Oh, a boundary. Okay.
Would either of you ever eat cat or dog?
Definitely. Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Brandon!
No doubt. No doubt. If you're telling me I've gone 8 hours without food, because
Oh
that's
my
probably
God,
the most
that's
I've ever. That's
probably
probably the
like
most
8 minutes.
That's probably the most I've ever gone without eating.
Yeah, on a
If we're-
colonoscopy
If we're,
day.
if we're being honest, I've had to have surgery to stop eating. But let's just say that that's an inordinate amount of time that I have not eaten, and it's between not eating or my pet. I'd say, Jax, I loved you. I loved
Oh
you.
my God.
I'd say this is
So
past
this
tense.
isn't even a stranger's pet. This is your own pet.
No, no,
that we were talking
I'm
about.
saying any pet animal. You go to China, they offer you dog. What are you
Oh, like
saying?
a domesticated
I'm in.
beast.
Yeah, I'm in. I
Oh
would try
my
that.
God.
I would try that. Because
Andy?
there's 4 legs.
Like I said, at the right place and the right time, I
Oh
would
my
try
God.
pretty much anything. But no, not if I was here. Not if it was like a Thursday night in New York and like that's all I had in the fridge.
For some reason, it's the bugs. It's the little tiny legs. I can't deal with the little tiny legs.
I would imagine bugs don't taste as bad as they look, only because we eat
It's the
shrimp.
texture.
We
Yeah,
love
shrimp
the
is
meat.
like the same.
Those are the bugs of the sea.
Yeah,
Correct.
they are
Bottom
gross.
feeders.
They're gross.
Disgusting.
Lobster, gross.
But
Everyone
they taste
pays.
delicious.
Oh,
So
geez.
disgusting.
I look at a lobster and I'm like, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah, I can't even think about it.
I look at a lobster and I'm trying to find its anus.
Oh,
Oh
lobster.
my God.
Fit, fat, and fluctuating. Fit, fat, and fluctuating. Fatty, fatty, fatso.